Alright, we're back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your favorite wrestling fan here, Eric Rodriguez, every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, here to talk about the greatest thing in the world, professional wrestling. We talk about all the action inside and outside of the ring, backstage curtain calls, rumor dramas, and updates. We talk about superstar inactive statuses, injury updates. We talk about contract negotiations, extensions, and new signings from promotions like WWE to AEW to Ring of Honor to the GCW to TNA. For mixed major news in the world of professional wrestling, we talk about it here on this show 1010%. So make sure you guys, Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show so you guys can get some notifications whenever we all decide to go live. Alright, just going to reflect on what we talked about right quick. We had our WWE SmackDown recap. We talked about some WWE Monday Night Raw, Easter eggs, maybe some sneak peeks, maybe a little bit of a preview. And now we're going to talk about some WWE NXT Deadline. Alright, before we get into any of that, obviously, you guys make sure you guys hit up that tips and donations link. Make sure you guys hit up that super chat, those super stickers, because you guys are super awesome and it's going to be, bigger, better, and stronger than ever. Alright, that's not the right thing. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm having a little bit of a... Hold on. Okay, yeah, that's not the right one. Alright, so that's a... Sorry, excuse me. We are having technical difficulties. Okay, no, that's more for today. Okay, alright, yeah, that's not working. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump on into some, WWE NXT Deadline, which is really weird because, I put that on there. God, that's so weird, it's not working. Technology, gotta love technology, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta love technology. Alright, let's go ahead and start off with the first match. We got, we got the men's Iron Survivor match, which I knew it was going to be the first match. I kind of thought it was, relatively, it was appropriate. It was appropriate to kind of have this match, to kind of have that lingering, is Nathan Fraser at 100% for his tag team match with Axiom to defend those titles against the No Quarter Catch crew. So, maybe a little, pat myself on the back there. All right, we had the men's Iron Survivor match. We had Jabon Evans start off with Wes Lee. Then you saw Fraser come out. And then, Ethan Page. Jabon Evans, I got to be honest, I love Jabon Evans. He's just a kid. He's just a kid in WWE right now. This is kind of his world. This is kind of like his opportunity to lose. And so far, he's been doing great. But during this match, especially with him and Wes Lee, I did not see the chemistry. I saw a lot of miscues. I saw a lot of I saw a lot of missed spots. And for me, I was like, what? That's weird for Jabon Evans. That, maybe it could be something. Maybe it could be something with Wes Lee, possibly. But, during the match, there was a couple of times where I was like, man, these guys aren't on the same page. They're going, there's an appropriate, in terms of professional wrestling, obviously entertainment, choreographed, stage, whatever you guys like to call it. There's a specific speed that it's like, oh, okay, you kind of see it's a little, you kind of see it's a little wonky, but at the end of the day, it's still like good content. This was as slow as the 405 on rush hour in LA. That's like 3 or 4 hours in traffic just to travel like 10 miles. It's nuts. It was bad. A lot of times you saw Jabon Evans going there, and he was it's like he was waiting for Wes Lee to kind of give him a sign. He was waiting for him to give him a signal of what the next move was going to be, and it didn't look good. It looked absolutely. It looked bad. It looked bad. Obviously, when the rest of the superstars kind of came in, it looked a lot. It looked better. Obviously, the fifth person, the final person who represented Eddie Thorpe's spot in the Iron Survivor match was Oba Femi. I wasn't a huge fan. For a matter of fact, I actually hated it. He picked up the first fall in 30 seconds. I didn't like it. I definitely liked how each men scored a fall. I definitely liked how that happened. Oba Femi being in the match. With Ethan Page, Nathan Fraser, Jabon Evans, it's just, I felt like it screwed up the momentum. I did not like Oba Femi, such a huge heavyweight, a super heavyweight for that matter, coming into the fray, it's kind of like if you saw, the great Khali back in the day come into the Iron Survivor match. You're like, oh, okay, now this match is going to be, it's going to be slowed down. They're going to show how powerful this Oba Femi guy is. And I'm not trying to trash Oba. I like Oba Femi and I think he's great. But, in this new era of WWE NXT, maybe you could have somebody else taking on Trick. Maybe you could have had someone who could have better chemistry with him. I just thought Oba coming into the match, it slowed the match down. It slowed the match down. You saw Wesley Fraser. They were like, you were in so super fast. But then again, maybe you can make an argument that maybe it was good that they kind of had that, that pillar inside the ring to ultimately kind of dictate the momentum, kind of like the tempo of the match. But I don't know why. Am I, go ahead and let me know in the chat. Am I wrong to think Oba Femi being in this match absolutely screwed things up? But then, like I said, maybe that's just, maybe that's just my opinion. So we had, Ethan Page and Javon Evans starting off with 2 scores. They were kicking ass until the final 30 seconds where you saw a double choke slam by Oba Femi for that double pin to score 2 falls. Bam, he wins 3-2 to 2 to 1-1. And, like I said, we're going to have Trick Williams take on Oba Femi. I feel like Eddie Thorpe will get involved because Oba was obviously behind the attack. Oba, he's kind of a fan favorite. You had some fans cheering for him. And then, it's going to cause a nice little riff between Trick Williams and the fans because we're not too sure who they're going to charge, who they're going to root for. We're going to have Trick Williams that whooped that Trick. Or we're going to have Oba Femi, the ruler of NXT. Can this be a possible foreshadowing? Could this be a telling of, whoever loses this match? And Ava announced that this is going to happen in LA. I think it's the first episode of NXT. I'm not too sure. Whoever loses this match will wind up on the main roster, like on Raw and SmackDown, which it could be Oba. It could be Trick Williams. Oba Femi becoming the NXT World Heavyweight Champion, you had you kind of had him hold that stronghold on the NXT North American Championship. But, the stronghold wasn't that bad because there were some times where he was going up against somebody like Wesley, like somebody like Javon Evans. Somebody, where it was possible that he could have damn near lost it. Maybe it could be getting to the point where WWE NXT is kind of looking at Trick Williams, kind of like, all right, I don't think there's anybody who can actually beat this guy because he's so over with the fans. He represents the brand pretty damn well. He has that Trick. He has the fans behind him. The locker room absolutely loves him. Is Trick Williams literally too perfect for NXT to the point where they're like, you know what, we gotta get rid of you. We gotta, it's not us, it's you. You kind of have to spread your wings and be something better. So, it's, I don't know why, but I hated that Oba Femi won. I gotta be honest, I did not like it. All right, next we have the NXT Underground match. We got Jaida Parker taking on Lola Vice. Anaconda Vice was actually being, utilized to help Lola pick up the victory here. Jaida Parker tried to pull out that brick once again. She put Parker to sleep and got the dub. But, these underground matches, it's cool. It's, I get it. But, I don't know. I just, the underground matches, when you had the props kind of come out there, and I was like, why are people coming out here? They kind of look all the same. Obviously, on WWE Monday Night Raw, way back when, you saw Shane McMahon with the WWE Underground, where you saw people, beat the hell out of each other. And, kind of like a fight club. Obviously kind of implementing some MMA rules. You've seen Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler kind of go at it. You've seen Lola Vice taking on, not Lola Vice, you've seen Carmen Petrovich taking on Shayna Baszler. Lola Vice taking on Shayna Baszler as well. I get why it's there, but at the same time, I kind of don't. But, NXT Underground's NXT Underground. All right, we have the NXT World Tag Team Championship. Nathan Fraser and Axiom successfully defend their titles against Tavion Heights and Miles Osborne. It was, it was decent. It was a good match. It was, I loved how Fraser and Axiom, they continue to seem like they are at odds with each other, but at the end of the day, when these guys were on the same page, they were absolutely unstoppable. Nathan Fraser was absolutely resilient. He was injured from the match, from the men's Iron Survivor match, and he was able to kind of pull it. He was able to kind of pull it out of his ass and kind of win the match there, help out his partner Axiom. And they did have that miscommunication where Axiom missile drop kicked Nathan Fraser out of the ring, where it seemed pretty dim, seemed pretty melancholy for the mood to seem like they were going to finally lose those tag team titles. And it never happened. And I'm happy that it didn't. I think that it would be stupid to put Nathan Fraser and Axiom against each other. Kind of having Nathan Fraser go heel. According to a couple of wrestling reports, that's something that's bound to happen. And I just don't see it. I don't like it. I definitely didn't think it was right. And to be honest, I feel like the North Quarter Catch crew, they're not ready for titles yet. I don't believe so. And I know that I might get a lot of lashback, and I know that I might get a lot of scrutiny in saying this. Ever since you saw Drew Gulak kind of leave, he didn't leave the WWE. He wasn't fired. He, just wasn't extended because of something that may or may not have happened allegedly with Ronda Rousey. Without Drew Gulak being in that group, it's not the same. It really isn't the same. The No Quarter Catch crew, they don't have that same, that same Shazam. They don't have that same aura. They don't have those same vibes. Charlie Dempsey's not a ruler. He's not a ruler. And Osborne and Tavion Heights, if they weren't going to win this match, I don't think they're going to win any other NXT World title match. And that's just me. Obviously, like I said, that's just my opinion. Right now is the perfect time for them to seize the moment and win. And it didn't happen. So, I'm happy Nathan Fraser and Axiom are still together. I'm happy they retained and still NXT World Tag Team title holders. Axiom and Nathan Fraser, congratulations. NXT World Championship match, not really much to say about this. Trick Williams was able to win. We all knew that was going to happen. Moving on. We have the last match. The Women's Iron Survivor match. Julia, Ren Sinclair, Sol Ruca, Zarya, Stephanie Vaquer. This match was good. Julia was able to pick up the first fall. You saw Sol Ruca hitting multiple soul snatchers out of nowhere. I definitely love that finishing move. We saw a stare down between Stephanie Vaquer and Julia, which I feel like WWE and NXT are constantly holding this away from us. They're holding Julia and Stephanie Vaquer going up against each other because when they first entered the WWE, due to the language barriers, Shawn Michaels was like, let's just kind of have them, tag team. Let's have them kind of get used to the ropes, get used to the cues, get used to those, get used to those, those nonverbals that professional wrestlers need to have, especially with language barriers. It's not like you can go up to someone and be like, all right, you're going to take a bump here. Be like, no, you're going to hip toss over here. It's not the same thing because these people, you don't speak the common tongue. Which Shawn Michaels, he acknowledges and he respects, which he should. Stephanie Vaquer, obviously, Julia, and, Ren Sinclair was pinned 3 times. Kind of sad, but she was able to kind of pick up a pin when she came out of the penalty box with about 90 seconds left. That was pretty badass. Julia picked up the win. She's going to be the number 1 contender for the NXT Women's Champion, Roxanne Perez. Can't wait to find out what happens with that. Julia, congratulations. Hopefully, maybe second time's a charm here. All right, guys, so hey, do not go anywhere. We're going to talk about WWE NXT call-ups confirmed. Grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite ice cold beverage, and join me here in about 30 seconds. So hey, do not go anywhere.